to get back up. Come on, Jacqueline. We've got more questions to answer here in the meandering meadow. Oh my goodness, my new little bunny is so cute. But hello everyone and welcome back to Meadow for another episode of Meandering in the Meadow, our question and answer series, where you guys leave questions in the comments below and I happily answer them as we dash around this beautiful world, eating up flowers, acorns, and berries, drinking from streams, which I actually haven't tried to do yet, and at times even getting a chance to run in the meadow with you guys. I tweet out when I am going to be wandering the meadow so that you guys will know and you can jump on in. I'll let you know which server we're going to be part of, and you can follow us along and help us to open up runestones and explore the distant peaks. Like that spot over there looks a little different than I remember, so we might head for the winter woods today and see what surprises we find, and see if we're able to find more of the adorable skins for our little bunny. It'll be so exciting to see if we can get all of the different coat colors while answering and fulfilling all of the questions you guys leave for me. So last time I got a little bit distracted on our warrior cats questions, always a popular topic, but this time a lot of you guys actually wanted to know what kind of animals I would be, and I thought that was really fun because there were so many different ways. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love it. I love playing with all of these puff mushrooms. They're so much fun. Oh, look at this. Look at this. Jacqueline and I can just play with all the puff mushrooms and smush them. That is just so adorable outside of this den. But alright, so you guys actually had tons of different ways to ask the same question of what kind of animal I would be, and I thought it was so clever that so many of you asked it in different ways. Like Edgy Dasu, I see what you did there by the way, asked what type of nicheling would you be? What would your traits be? You don't have to include immunity and fertility or the other stuff. You can't really determine, but what would you pick for different colors, body types, tail types? Oh gosh, I'm sorry little bunny. And so on. And that was a really cool question because I do absolutely adore niche, as you guys know. By now we will have hopefully started our daily niche challenges, and I just love working with the niche team. They're such a friendly group. They really truly are, and they just want to see their community happy. But oh wow, look at that beautiful new skin she's got. Oh, we definitely will have to start filling out the fox skins and the other skins as we do our weekly meandering through the meadow over time, guys. This is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited. I'm just so excited that each and every coat that we'll have will represent time that we spent getting to know each other a little bit better. But if I was a nicheling, I think I would be a brown nicheling because my hair is brown. I think I would have a fluffy tail because I have very long hair that goes down past my waist. I would have normal eyesight because I actually have very, very good eyes. 20/20 vision, which is pretty fun. I would have nimble fingers so that I could better to pick and crack open things and be able to get my food with. I don't think I would have poisonous fangs or anything like that. I wish there was something that would be like melodious song or something, because I do talk a lot. I don't think, maybe I would have cracker jaw, but I actually have a really good sense of smell. So maybe I would have like a big nose. I definitely have an actual big nose now that I think about it. So I think I would have big nose, brown fur, fluffy tail, and then what else? I don't think I really have big ears or anything like that. And I'm kind of sensitive to the heat. So I definitely not big ears because I'm not very well adapted for the heat. Would I have patterns? I think I would maybe have some stripes, some like dark brown or red stripes that would be on me as well, because actually my hair has a lot of red, which believe it or not is Irish roots. We did a 23andMe and I actually have quite a bit of surprisingly like strong Scottish and Irish mix amounts in my bloodline, which was very interesting. And I am Hawaiian, but my Hawaiian genes are actually less than my German and my Irish genes, which I thought was kind of interesting. So I actually do have a lot of red highlights in my hair when I'm in the sun. So I'd probably be brown with red coloration in stripe pattern, big nose for sure, And I can't really think a fluffy tail, and I can't really think of any other traits, to be honest. Yeah, nimble fingers and normal hind legs. I'm not very good at swimming, so not webbed hind legs for sure. Wow, what is this? It's so pretty. Oh my goodness, what a lovely flower. I'm gonna eat it. Hey, come back here. Yay, that was a special flower too. I got the special little music. So I think, yeah, I think nimble fingers, good eyesight, brown fur, fluffy tail, and maybe cracker jaw, but maybe not. I eat a lot because I'm vegan. I eat a whole bunch of fruits and veggies. So, and a whole bunch of nuts too. So I think I can't think of any like outstanding trait, but if you guys had like really, really outstanding traits as a nicheling, what do you guys think you would have? I don't think I'd have anything like toxic body or so on. So, I've got to think about that. I wonder what Chips would have. Oh, he'd have those beautiful green eyes if he was a nicheling. I would have brown eyes as a nicheling. So kind of brown fur, brown hair, brown eyes. But I don't mind. I think that those can be really fun traits. Do we have another skin? You guys, just having one friend with us. Oh my goodness gracious. Look at this bunny. We have gotten so many new colors. This is fantastic. The power of having even just one friend by your side in Meadow can change everything. But all right, yeah, I really can't think of anything else I would have that would be very dramatic as a nicheling. Not the mega horns. Maybe some little antlers. I want some antlers just because I think that would be cute. And I do have, well, maybe one claw because I do have really long fingernails and I actually can pack a little bit of a punch if I ever needed to defend myself from a gigantic predator. At least I hope so. So that would probably be me as a nicheling, but I would love to hear how you guys would describe yourselves, just in case I missed out on something that was obviously really, really cool for being able to be a cool nicheling characteristic. But on the subject of what kind of animal I would be, we have more angles on that question from Gina. And Gina wanted to know what kind of slime from Slime Rancher would I be? And that one, after an initial bemoaning thought of how much I love the Tangle slimes, was actually super easy for me to answer because I would definitely be a honey slime. I would not be a Tangle slime because they are carnivores, strict carnivores, and I mostly eat fruits and veggies, so I would be a honey slime, and I like to imagine that I can be pretty sweet. Maybe when I'm hungry I can be super cranky, and I definitely still need to strive every day to try to be kind and to think sweet thoughts, but it is an effort that I make, and I think I'd be a honey slime. I'd be a very happy honey slime. Maybe a honey tabby because I definitely love to boop my beloved darling whenever he happens to be nearby and headbutt him. So maybe a honey tabby slime, just like our beloved His Royal Majesty Honeymint. And then again on the animal question, we had Barmat ask, if I could be any animal, what would I be? And I think I'd be a bird. I think I would definitely be a Carolina wren. Oh wow, and this forest got really dark and really beautiful. This is absolutely stunning. Kind of reminds me a lot of being in a redwood forest for sure. Wow, this is lovely. Oh my goodness gracious, I love it. I absolutely love it. Wow. But I would probably be a Carolina wren because they do mate for life, I believe, and they're very, very, very curious. There we go. They're very, very curious, and they have tiny, tiny little like brown bodies and the funkiest, cutest little tails that just flip all over the place when they're thinking about something. And they have a lot to say. They actually are very small birds, and they're very fast, and they look very serious. They have very serious little beaks, but when they sing, they have a huge variety of song that they can sing and a lot to say. And I just have always thought that the call and the song of a Carolina wren is so charming. And I love how curious they are, because without fail, the Carolina wren will be the bird that will be on my deck, poking inside of every flower pot and turning things over and searching inside of every nook and cranny that you normally wouldn't expect a bird to try to go into. And I know I am very, very curious, and that curiosity has led me to some very interesting life choices and life directions. So I feel a lot of an affinity with the Carolina wren and wrens in general, really. I like wrens in general. So probably a bird and probably a wren, and probably for the freedom and the curiosity that birds have, but also for the way that they're going to skedaddle when they get nervous about something, because I can be a little flighty when I get super nervous. Oh, let's see if we can make our way across this river. Oh no! Don't drown, little Bun Bun. Let's get you out of this water. Wow, this is so pretty. I love this world, you guys. I can't wait to be able to get big groups of you to be able to wander this with together, because this is just beautiful, isn't it? Oh my gosh, it truly is something else, that's for sure. I mean, look at this. And my poor little bunny heart just beating so fast. But yeah, I'd be a bird. I would have once upon a time said I would be a cat, but I really feel like I would be a bird because I love being in the forest, and I love the feeling of adventure and travel that I have really started to develop as I get older and as I have been able to travel more in life. And I love the freedom that a bird has, and I love their song, and I love that they have their own little special routines and habits. I think that's very special too. All right, and then there's one more animal related question from Ash Plays. If I could be any animal in Zoo Tycoon 2, who would I be? And I think I'd be the panda because they get spoiled rotten. All of the guests come to see them. They get all of this delicious bamboo to be able to eat. Maybe the red panda. That would be really fun. I would be a red panda because Chips loves he loves red pandas, and I would hang out in my exhibit with him and have a great day eating bamboo and climbing up into our little lookout hut and being able to watch all of the guests fawn over us and cheer us on and carry away little red panda plushies. And I do love Zoo Tycoon 2. It makes me very happy to see how many of you guys are excited to join in on Zoo Tycoon 2 again too. But all right, so there's all the animal, like, what would I be questions, and it's really fun to answer those because honestly, the more I learn about different animals and the different moods I'm in, I'd probably answer you differently. I definitely probably would. Next time you ask, maybe I'll be enchanted with squirrels, or maybe I'll be enchanted with the idea of being a big, strong lion. Who knows? But today, I'm fine with being small and talkative wrens, and very sweet honey slimes, and very plain and simple brown nichelings with nimble fingers. So I think that's what I would do. In fact, I think I would have like no claw because I tend to flee. I wish I would have lean body, to be honest. That might be kind of nice, but I'm definitely a big bodied nicheling, but I would want to be able to run very fast away from predators. That's definitely something I would want. So probably double nimble fingers on that question again. But oh my goodness, yeah, those would be the animals that I would be, and I would love to hear what your guys' answers would be for that, because I feel like when you ask someone a question like that, it tells you a lot more about their personality than you think it would. All right, let's grab this, and we're going to tear across the edge of the map over here, and maybe we'll try climbing that mountain today. But then we have a really sweet question that warmed my heart so much from Ranger3 Gaming, who said, who feels Siri has a community that is so big, even though other YouTubers have more members? So I think that means like a big community, even though technically from a lot of people's perspectives, our subscriber count may be smaller. And a lot of people said, yeah, they feel like that too. And I really feel like that is true. Not in a way to say like our community is better than other communities, because that's never something that you want to say. That's not a kind thing to say. But because I feel like I have worked really hard to do things like this that I know won't be super popular, but I know will mean a lot to the people who do want to develop a sense of community. Opening up my heart, opening up my personal life, being able to share who I am on the inside with you guys from like the very beginning. And I feel like that's important. Very, very, very important, because when I first started telling my stories and my adventures, I wasn't looking for like being popular. I wasn't looking to really get anybody's attention. I am stuck on this rock. There we go. I wasn't doing anything other than just kind of telling my story, and that hasn't really changed. I'm still just trying to tell my story. Oh, there's Jacqueline. Nice. All right, we managed to get that flower, so let's head off. And I think that's important because back when I needed a story to listen to, there wasn't really anyone I could relate to that I could listen to. Back when I needed a story, to kind of guide me out of some darker times. Oh wow, we found a lynx hiding all the way back here. How interesting. Oh my goodness, that's very fun. All right, well, let's wiggle this way and see what we might find. They might have found all the good stuff by now, but at least you can, oh, look at this, a nice flower over here. But I don't know, when I first, oh my, where did I go? There I am. When I first was really looking for like a role model, or looking for a story that could kind of help me when I was really, really down, I couldn't ever really relate to the people I ran into who always seemed super duper happy, and they always seemed like they had everything together, and they couldn't understand my struggles and my life. And then later on, I got old enough to realize actually those people were struggling, but they did it behind the scenes. And so I lost out on that opportunity to feel like I could connect to them, to feel like I could relate to them, because everybody put their best face forward all the time, and even a fake face forward sometimes. And you can't blame people for doing that if they don't want to share, or they don't feel comfortable, or they don't feel capable of sharing some of the deeper things in life, or the more personal struggles that they went through. That's not for everyone. But I just have never forgotten when I first got into YouTube, realizing, man, I really wish somebody I relate to would have been there, so that I could have felt less alone. And I think if I had had even one person that I could have looked up to as a healthy role model, who I related to, who I could look at this person and go, their struggles are struggles I understand, their life is a life that I understand, maybe there's hope for me too, I think my life would have been so different. So I think one of the big reasons that we have such an amazing community, other than the fact that we have an amazing group of mods who is always trying so super hard to make sure that we keep this place safe and very content and happy, and just focused on the adventure and focused on the positive things instead of the nastiness YouTube comments can sometimes be known for, of tearing each other apart, is because I've also always been willing since the beginning to share some of the more personal aspects of my life and my struggles, because I just have never forgotten. I wish somebody had been there for me when I was that far back, when I was that far lost, who I could have related to. And I have never forgotten that feeling. And so whenever I'm nervous or scared, or wonder if it's a little bit too personal to share, or will anybody really understand what I'm saying, I err on the side of going ahead and sharing my experience or my thoughts, because I wonder if the young Siri of back then is listening to me right now. And I wonder if being able to be completely honest about my struggles when I not only had anxiety, but like full-blown agoraphobia and wouldn't leave my home for 2 years. Like, I left my house 7 times in 2 years. But I wonder if talking about those things, I just can't make it. I'm too small. I'm too small, Jacqueline. I give up. She's doing it. She's doing it. I see that piece right there. All right, we're doing it. And almost there. Ah, there we go. And sometimes I just wonder if being able to be honest and open and share my struggles about how even now I struggle to kind of put everything together as a YouTuber now and then, being able to handle communities that can get really nasty to you, and yet also keep my heart open for the aspects of the community that is nice to me. I'm muddling it up, but basically what I'm trying to say, guys, is I feel like one of the reasons we are such a fantastic community is because I have always tried to be super open and honest about what life is like for me. And I don't want to have a wall between us if you choose to look like past that. If you choose to want to feel a real connection with me and with my words and my adventures and my life, I want that connection to be available to you. I don't want you to feel like you're not sure about who I am. I don't want you to feel like you don't know the real me. I don't want you to feel like you can't relate to me. If there's something in my life and my experiences, the good and the very bad, that I have lived through that could help someone, then if being a little bit squeamish and embarrassed that I'm sharing stuff that's super personal, or I'm sharing my inner doubts and conflicts, is the price to pay in exchange for maybe helping somebody by being super open and by trying to be really, really connected to my community, then I will take it, even though it's super scary sometimes. So I do feel like our community is a lot stronger as a result, because I am not trying to keep up like my professional life and my personal life. Probably because I don't strive to be a huge YouTuber. I strive to be a heartfelt sort of person where you can come in and just have something that maybe your heart needs, if not like give you belly laughs whenever we play things. I hope I can be there for people and to just give them something that maybe their heart needs instead. And as a result, I don't think we'll ever be like a gigantic channel. I don't think we'll ever be overflowing with subs, and I really doubt we would ever have a I really doubt we'd ever have a gold plaque up on the wall next to our silver. But maybe it'll happen, but that's not my goal. My goal is that big community, that big green heart, that big beautiful garden of adventures that maybe people who are having a hard time would be able to walk into and enjoy. And I think that's why our community feels so much bigger. Also, there's so many pieces. We're gonna have a new skin in no time, all thanks to just having one friend to share this adventure with. This is fantastic. But all right, that's that was a very wonderful comment. It was very sweet. I don't mean for it to pass judgment on anybody else's community, because you also need different types of communities. I don't always need a heartfelt, deep green community. Sometimes I just want some belly laughs at some memes. You know what I mean? And that's fine. That's fine. And I think that's something I've learned as I've gotten older, is that everybody needs different things, and different communities offer you different things. You don't have to be equally invested across the board on all of them. You're not supposed to be. You're never going to have enough energy if you are. But I'm rambling about some deeper thoughts I've had lately, so I'll tuck those aside and let's see. Aha! We have the big marriage question coming up. I'll answer a couple more questions, and then I'm going to take my thoughtful self off and write in my joy journal about the things you guys have made me think about myself today through your questions. Always a very helpful little meditation tool, if you ask me. But we have the big question of marriage, true love, and we have Meow Games asking, how much do you love Chips, and when will you get married? And the answer is, Meow Games, I love Chips with all of my heart. Oh my gosh, is this a bird? The heck? There's just a pheasant asleep on top of here until I hope he's gonna get this. Oh my, that was adorable, and I wish you luck, pheasant. That was awesome. Oh my goodness, that was really cute. Oh my gosh, that was really awesome. Oh dear, that was just adorable. But I love Chips with all my heart, and I've loved other people before, just to clarify, because one of the biggest mistakes I made the first time I fell in love was thinking that it had to be for the rest of my life, because hey, I love you, so that means I have to love you for the rest of my life, right? Even when that person wasn't good for me anymore, even when that person wasn't good for themselves. And so I stuck around years and years longer than I should have, because I didn't understand that love, I feel like, is only the kind of love that you want to share your life with is only true for as long as it's healthy for both of you. And if the health disappears from a loving relationship and it's no longer a healthy loving relationship, you can still love someone even if it's not healthy for you to love them. And that's really sad, but it's true. And that's also when you need to learn that it's time to move on. If the things that you try to do don't make it back into a healthy loving relationship, then you need to move on. And I wish I had known that years and years and years before. I wish somebody had told me it's perfectly capable to love someone and they're still not a good person and they're still not good for you. And the relationship, you can love them but not love the relationship and have to move on. And I wish someone had told me that years ago, because that would have helped me. And Chips, I can say I love him with all my heart, because this is a healthy, loving relationship, and we strive constantly to grow together and to keep it healthy and to make it healthier all the time. And we're doing a great job of that, in my humble opinion, and I love it. But we don't really have strict plans to marry, and that's because, again, I wish I had known this years and years ago. For us and for what marriage means, it's a whole different kettle of fish. The fact that we love each other with all of our hearts and the idea of getting married are two different things right now where we are in life. And maybe that would change. We've occasionally talked about it, and we do 100% right now plan on spending the rest of our lives together. But we just don't really feel like that's something we need to think about just yet. If we ever decided to move internationally, we would probably definitely get married so that we could get through the immigration process easier. But for all intents and purposes, we feel we're already there, just without the legal documentation behind it just yet. And I think that's because we're transitioning into our 30s, and so we're just starting to hit a point where we feel we know ourselves. And I think this is not true for everybody at all. This is not true for a lot of people I know. This is not true for most people I know, actually. But the way Chips and I and our hearts work, I feel like we both want to know ourselves before we think about something like that. And we're just starting to get into a phase of our lives where we feel like we truly know ourselves as who we are. And because of our experiences in the past, both of us, I think, feel very strongly that we just really, really, really want to know who we are before we would think about getting married to someone and think about getting married to each other. But for all intents and purposes, from our hearts, we're each other's best friends. We're each other's partner. We're each other's priority in life. We have shaped our lives around one another and our love for each other, and it's a healthy thing, and it's a healthy relationship. And I just can't even begin to describe how much I've grown. I wouldn't exist as Siri. I wouldn't be here with you guys without his support and his love and his belief in me being able to do this. And guys, I'm gonna cry if I think about it, but the fact that we're not married does not mean that we don't love each other at all. I just really, 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 really want to reinforce that deeply. Deeply. I want you guys to know that as much as the sky is blue and the sun rises, I love Chips. He loves me. We're good for each other, and we work hard to be good for one another and to make it happen. So yeah, the fact we're not married does not mean we have doubts, does not mean we think maybe this won't work out, does not mean anything else than our own individual experiences and our own expectations for what we want out of life are not at a point yet where that's really something that we think we would want to do. Not because we don't love each other, but just because there's a lot involved there. And I feel like the older we get, the more we realize what a big decision that is. So there's that. And oh my goodness, we've attracted quite the little crowd, but I am out of time for today, you guys. So I hope I've answered some of your questions pretty well. I'll try to answer them faster. You guys just answer some really, really good questions and some really big ones. Like, hey, are you going to marry Chips? Do you love him? Those are big questions. Oh dear, there goes the goodbye, pheasant. Goodbye. Oh my, they went down to the moon. That's quite interesting. But all right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and head off, and I will see you all next time. Please, please, please ask your questions in the comments. If we get enough questions, I might have to start meandering in the meadow twice a week, which gives you guys double the opportunity to come and run with us. And I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.